And that's the worst because I'm not fun to hear. At least I hate those ones the most for sure. I'm like, oh god, it's just me. Fuck. No one likes the sound of their own voice, you know? I am among
No,
those. Some people do, actually, I
I
should
think
say.
I think those are kind of the funny ones because you can only hear you responding to us, and it kind of sounds like you're a mental patient talking to yourself.
Well, there was some good, yeah, there was some good summation of what has gone on so far and some lore about the Fanes, which I think is really important for you guys to know because you're hearing a little bit from the Vistani about some of what you might hear in your card readings too. So interesting.
Hmm.
But with that being said, like I said, she lays out 5 cards on the table, and she basically gives you a change enough such that you've paid for the rest of the party without knowing Alcor, but uh,
Nice.
you are able to see that the cards that she's laid out are of interesting and intricate design, and they're not the same ones that they were before. For those of you that were here the first time, so you're kind of surprised to see that, and you're hopefully thinking that she hasn't loaded this deck with some evil fate to put on you like a curse, but rather that you find some clarity in your future quest to come. And with that, who steps up first? She asks of the group, who's first?
Artemine steps up to her table.
Rather than asking you to pick a card, she puts her hands over the cards. And for those of you that were present for the first reading, she had asked each of you to pick a card, to select a card of the cross that she laid out. This time it seems she has a sense for which card belongs to you. Her hand hovers over this card, if you could see my mouse.
Very well.
Oops, sorry, not that card. This card. Terrible. The bottom card. My mouse is giving me some trouble right now. Looking, I think it's the stream.
I'm still in the tent, but I can see it on the YouTube.
Yeah, the bottom card specifically, and she flips it. And the card that she reveals is the artifact.
Mm.
She tells you that this card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. Find the leader of the feathered ones who live among the vines. Though old, he has one more fight left in him.
Did we met leader, right? You know.
I think I understand, or I think I have an idea who that could pertain to. one Davian Mardukov comes to mind.
She nods, pleased.
The old were-raven. Perhaps you will realize that you are his chance to end Strahd's tyranny. Maybe he'll leave his vineyard and winery long enough in the hands of his capable sons.
You follow Raven Queen. Card.
There's more than meets the eye to our old friend Davian. Not only in primal nature, but the nature of the weave itself. They do not call it Wizard of the Wines for no reason, I surmise.
Yes. That name is not a chance coincidence. Who's next?
Very well.
She says in a dismissive tone.
Alcor will walk up.
The guild member. Were you not yourself once a member of a great traveling band of merchants?
I was at one point, yes.
You have a similar stink on you as your friend. Your blade thirsts for blood, as your soul hungers for recognition.
Recognition and freedom.
Freedom. You will not find it
Yes.
here. Seek out the Amber Temple, where the tombs of the ancients hold the instrument of your glory. Seek the wizard, the night slayer, the barbarian, and the necromancer. These are the last of your great band of travelers now. Will you guard the others, your new companions, as you guarded your merchant friends?
She asks you.
It may actually be easier this time now that this band is actually competent. And I am more competent now.
She cackles at your response in a childish way, mocking you.
Mm-hmm.
Her laughter, she finishes with,
One amongst your flock is false. Observe your companions carefully. Weed out the traitors amongst them.
she says this last just to you, whispering it to you. And for those of you that hear the whoosh, 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 you can absolutely roll perception to see if you can hear that. This is not a passive perception. This is a lean in and use your extra ear hole that isn't covered in wax perception. Don't have an extra ear hole, I will grant you that item in the game.
Get 18.
Yeah, Artemine's deep in thought. You don't catch it.
So far, Kragnar is the only one who hears these whispers.
For sure.
You hear Kragnar growl a little bit behind you, Alcor.
Hmm. Alcor will ponder this and walk away if that is all.
Yeah, she sort of waves you off dismissively as you begin to walk away, as though she dismissed you, even though you acted of your own accord to leave first. She looks at the rest of you expectantly, waiting for someone else to step forward. Father
Marion will
Albright.
step forward.
Oh, thank you. I was going to have to use my Father Albright card for a minute there.
Sorry,
No worries, you're good.
gets to bed.
You're good. Let's see here.
The monk.
She says as she flips the card over.
This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. The shadow over this land has grown as dark as the devil's heart. It is your hand that will return sunlight to its halls, if the darkness does not swallow you up in its maw first. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a symbol of hope.
She says this last with a bit of disgust on her face.
That which you seek lies in the womb of darkness, the devil's lair, the one place to which ye must return.
Well, certainly gives me something to think about.
Corvus is holding out for last, so Father Albright will step forward.
Fitting God for you, the healer.
Father Albright just sort of ruffles his brow.
if you are to truly free your soul from these lands, you know that which you must do. The sacrifice you must make. But will you do it when the time comes? When all of the chips are on the line? Or will you fold out, as you have in the past, your strength and faith crumbling? I wish not to hear the tongue of this witch further, says Father Albright as he stalks off. The healer or the speaker just starts to cackle at his response. And flicks the healer card off the table. It would appear crumble is the answer.
You see the card, after it falls on the ground, it begins to sort of shrivel and dissolve, like it was touched by acid, although it sits just on mere stone.
And the last of you, come, I must rest. I have brews to make.
And she
Uh,
looks at
uh,
Corvus specifically.
I wanted to ask some questions about my reading.
Questions?
She says,
Yes, it makes.
curiously.
Sorry.
You're all good.
Yes, it makes vague insinuations about a puppet master, and I'm a little at loss to translate the specifics of your clearly very important portent. And Corvus kind of just stares into her, or tries to anyway.
Perhaps this will reveal all to you.
She flips the last card.
The ghost? A card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of ghostly presence attached to this world, desperate for vengeance. A sword of sunlight. If you wish to cut your strings from the puppet master, you will need this sword. Search for the crypt of the wizard ordinaire. His staff is the key. The sun sword is hidden in the crypt of Growlmore Nimblenobs. Specific enough for you?
She says scornfully.
Corvus nods and smirks at her and says, yes, slightly more so this time. Although I find it interesting, we have met two wizards missing their... We will soon meet another wizard missing their staff. They tend to be lost in these lands.
She sort of claps her head in frustration, and exact opposite of her reaction to the first realization of the first reading.
Well, whatever. At least I didn't get mocked. At least not this time.
Ragnar's still confused, but we figure it out.
I see clarity in my reading, though the Wizard of the Wines is a very long journey from here. Perhaps on our way westward, at some point, we will make that trip. For now, let us get some rest before we make the journey to Castle Argynvostholt.
Yes, that would be lovely.
Wait, oh, woman, seer, you told Kragnar of treasure split in two, but do not say where pieces are. Kragnar, think one in this Castle A that they just said. Is that right? Kragnar needs to save people. I'm glad.
The weapon indeed is split in two, and its pieces are found in two places. One of them has already been revealed to one of your fellow party members. I will not say it again.
She says this hatefully.
She indeed means the spear, Ragnar, the one that Imelda carried off with her.
What is. Oh. And then he remembers that there was a second part of the sphere. Remembers that being told to Imelda.
Yeah, remember it was a socketed weapon.
Yep. See if he clues in on that finally. But Imelda gone far.
Perhaps we shall one day run into her again.
And she's like hateful in the way that like imagine if you like paid a chef for their services and you took your first bite and they're looking at you waiting for that expectant look of pleasure and delight and you just went like this does not taste good. So she's offended by your lack of clarity from what she said to you, even though it was extremely vague.
Ragnar barely remembered first. Not your fault. Well, Seer, you make good fortune. It's Kragnar's fault. You good, Kragnar bad. He kind of bows.
Being a spiteful speaker of the night, she doesn't seem to accept or disregard your apology. More so just ignoring you at this point. Having given all of her readings, she begins to scoop up the cards individually in a way that, like, her fingers are so dexterous, you're surprised that they move with like a nimbleness and speed that they do. But as she does so, she kind of shuffles over to what looks like a small cot in her tent and sits down as if to take rest.
We should go.
Indeed.
She looks tired, almost like the telling of these tales took something out of her.
Our readings have taken a toll on the woman. Let us make bed for the night. Resume our journey in the morn. What can be called morning in this dreadful, dreary place.
Her powers seem to dwindle. One of the Stani says, looking onward, obviously having observed most of the conversation from a small perch just outside of the bobcats.
It seems every reading takes a further toll on her. It is time again for another sacrifice, it would seem.
Okay.
It is
What you mean sacrifice?
of no concern to you. I should not have mentioned anything of it.
Sacrifice.
Five people want to roll insight right now.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Insight
probably
sucks, but
shouldn't
I'll
have
roll it.
shared that.
It is our way to protect the lady. We travel with her. Most of our people stick together, but we are a unique group. The Watchers of the Speaker of Night.
Yes, I'm beginning to see why you're so distrusted by the general populace of Barovia.
It is hard to be trusted when you have things that other people desire. Jealousy, quick to spawn in such situations. Hatred, even. But we have no hate for the people
Quite.
of Barovia, or Wallaki for that matter.
Power does often inspire jealousy in others. And I understand doing what it takes to be able to protect those that you care about. Of this sacrifice, be it of your own or of others, it does tend, however, to cause issues with the general masses.
Ragnar are going to sit by fire.
Yeah, Alcor will cozy up to this rock and get comfortable and begin to sleep or rest or whatever.
Ragnar will try to fix his broken drum.
Assuming the party is either taking a short or a long rest, and correct me if that's not what's happening, but let's take a short 5-minute break here.
Alrighty.
Short or long, it's all the same to me.
Yep, same here.
Word.
I just saw that insight roll. That's my bad. I don't know if you broke off yet, Skylar, but if you didn't,
Oh no, I'm here.
and Aaron and Alcor, because you also made insight checks. Artemine, I think out of the two of you, or out of the three of you, this would sit just kind of oddly in your stomach. Something about it doesn't seem exactly right. The Vistani, while not exactly honorable, have been relatively peaceful, so sacrifice of some kind, what certainly sounded like an ominous sort of sacrifice to preserve the health of Madame Ava, would suggest that she's certainly not human.
Mm-hmm.
It also suggests that someone may be sacrificed tonight.
Yeah.
So you're certainly like on guard about this, and Alcor and Aaron, I'm gonna say like you guys don't pick up quite as much insight from that, but you're like, I'm on my guard. Your battle instincts kick in. And you're like, well, I'm not fucking getting sacrificed.
I am very prepared, overly so. I've got the alert thing and a warning dagger, so I'm good.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll take 5 as you guys take your short or long rest. We'll figure out which one it is when we get back.
Yeah, I'm good.
Mhm.
back as well.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. So I guess the question is how long were we on the road between Barovia and here? And like, how long has it been since we actually slept? I want to start incurring insanity.
I think just like being on the road for so long, and it's probably about 8 hours to give you a time mark. But being on the road for so long and coming down the mountainside, you guys would definitely be tired at this point. So your characters would be feeling tired if that helps. I don't know if
Yeah,
they're
I feel
suffering
like
any effects of exhaustion or madness yet, but yeah, definitely not sleeping can do that.
Yeah, I decided to put Alcor for a long rest just because I think I was the most injured out of everybody. I'll be honest.
yeah, we must rest while we can. Goddess knows the path ahead is always arduous.
I'm tired.
I will take the first watch. And allow the rest of you to get some sleep. And as he's doing his watch, he's doing drills, combat drills with his rapier.
Corvus offers to take the second watch.
Alcor will take the third, and
Ragnar watch with Corvus.
My undead can fill in any watch that remains. As I reach into my haversack and pull out my long forgotten sword. Perhaps you'd like a sparring partner.
Hmm. Has been a while since I've had a good duel.
I suppose sword play is always a good way to fill in the time.
mhm.
It has been quite some time since I've used the sword, but at one point I did have a certain martial prowess.
Well,
Though I may not be able to teach you anything, perhaps I can help you hone your skills.
and I the same, friend. Shall we brush off some of that rust?
Aaron takes up a neutral stance after you.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Suddenly,
He
a memory flashes in
oop,
your head, Aaron. And Artemine no longer has the face of Artemine, cunning and handsome, but instead the face of Vladimir Hornguard, your once arch nemesis. You remember your swords locked in heated combat, neither of you giving an inch. Then the memory fades, and Artemine's face again becomes his own.
And right as he seemingly comes out of it, Artemine goes and throws a probing jab Aaron's way.
Roll it with advantage. Thunk.
$22.
Oh yeah. So I'll say that flash of memory hitting me, I completely lose my focus. I bring one hand off my sword and up to my head, close my eyes tight, shake my head, and by the time I open my eyes back, your thrust is coming in and you slip in a gap between my armor.
Yeah, for sure. And I ghetto crit on you at the same time, so whoops. Sorry, bud. I was gonna say this
Oh,
is not
good.
lethal damage. You're also not really a bleeder, so just like, damn, you got me.
You stabbed a hole in me. It's not bleeding.
Not bleeding,
You
but
should look
you'll
at
notice
that.
when you withdraw your blade, the tip is covered in a thick black ichor.
Strange. You do ever so react like a corpse. Sometimes I forget.
My apologies. My mind was elsewhere for a moment.
And what did you see?
A flash of memory of who I was before I came back.
The memory floods back
Not necessarily.
in as you try and reminisce. You bastard! You hear in the voice of Vladimir Horngard. You killed Goffrey, you bastard! You feel the pain sear from where Artemin landed his blow. And you feel an old pain, an old memory. And look to a scar not far from where the blow landed on your flesh there. It is deep and looks like a cut that was similar to the one Artemine just landed on you before, just an inch or two above. Sword memory.
I like this. This is very cool. I flinch as though I've been struck, even though you've done nothing. I stagger backwards, my hand reflexively coming up to the scar, the pain now fading. Again, I close my eyes and shake my head to come back to the reality that we are in now.
Are you sure you want to continue? It seems to have been unnerving for you.
Yes, this is good. I'm remembering.
Muscle memory into literal memory. Quite a peculiar circumstance to find yourself in.
Say, do not count me completely out yet. I make a quick half step forward, bring my sword up over my head, and do a slashing motion down at you.
Oh, hell yeah. You got
D&D Beyond slow. Hang on.
The competitive smile on Artemine's face turns to the anguished grimace of Vladimir Horngard once again. Reality slipping away from you. He was my lover, he cries, your sword piercing into him, ending his pain and suffering, and his speech, as his eyes roll back into his head. The memory fades again, and you find yourself with your sword about to press down into Artemine. A killing blow, certainly.
Mm.
Artemine
Oh yeah, that's a hit.
measures you cautiously at the moment. And you regain your consciousness.
Roll your damage, son.
Oh shit. Let's see. R.
That's absolutely a hit.
See if Aubrey will. I hit enter. Oh,
Oh no.
4. I draw the sword down from what would have been a killing blow, and instead nick a shallow cut across your chest. Then I retreat a half step and resume another different neutral guard.
The rest of the
I'm gonna have
party,
to tailor that.
just for my reference, is kind of resting at this point, right? Sleeping or taking rest as these
Ooh.
guys have the first watch.
Correct.
Yeah, Alcor's fast
Yes.
asleep.
Yeah, Albright, Alcor, Kragnar, Corvus. That would make the rest of you, and these guys are just dueling it out. As you guys are in the midst of your battle, if your head's not foggy enough already from these visions that appear to be creeping back up on you, Aaron, you hear a splishing and a splashing in the distance, as well as a few voices of gathered Vistani at the shoreline. They appear to be holding something in what looks like a burlap bag. And it appears to be fighting to try and get out.
Hmm.
Hold her still. Hold her still. We must wait for the beast to breach the waters,
Whispers another.
There, look.
A third says, pointing out into the water's surface, and you can see the water begins to ripple at the center of the small lake. And something dark and slimy emerges slowly, creeping out inches at a time, revealing its massive size. As the head of what looks like a gigantic sea monster peeks its face out, opening its massive maw, looking hungry. contents of the
Yeah,
burlap
noted.
bag are dumped out as it's flipped over, and you see a small child, probably 12, 13 years old, uh, looking dirty and bruised up.
Oh,
The Vistani grab hold of her wrists, arms, legs, and begin to heave-ho her into the lake.
I feel like we can't let that happen.
mm,
It's okay, guys.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Corvus
I'll
doesn't
take
sleep, so I'm awake enough to know something's going on.
Y'all would need to wake Alcor. I don't know why he's over here, but you know.
yeah, of course, not supposed to be there. Wait a second. Yeah, yeah, that doesn't seem like
Yeah, for
the type of thing that we should allow.
Corvus will take a moment to wake up the rest of the party that's sleeping.
for reference, I would say probably only Aaron and Artemine notice this at first. You may hear the splashing, and if you want to roll a perception check, I could see if you can be in on this as well with a perception check.
Active perception, all right. Rolled a little better this time.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. Not only do you see it, you probably see it better than them, as maybe you're a little bit closer to the water side than they are.
Yeah, I am sleeping near the water side. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or resting. I was meditating over here by the
No
the water.
worries. I know what you meant. Chilling, sleeping with one eye open, as Corvus often does.
Yeah, pretty much has to, unless you knock them out. I don't know.
Well, the lady did warn you, you know, to
Yeah.
remember where you're at all times, and that'll keep your head attached. And I feel like you've taken that advice extremely well throughout the campaign. So I commend
The
you.
only part of the advice I've taken.
Oh, you are a wise man. The other part was kind of vague and tough to interpret. In this case, though, you see everything that's going on here, everything that's going on. So if you want to alert the rest of the party members, you can absolutely do so. However, she gets tossed into the water while you're doing that. You hear a splash as her body hits the water. And slowly and methodically, the creature begins to sort of mill around in that area, looking for his food. It looks lazy and perhaps lethargic in its state of hunger. It's still about 15 feet away from where she was dumped in at this point, too, giving the party time to react to this heinous act.
I will have to ask though, since my mini is over here, am I a part of that or am I being woken up?
I think you're being woken up by Corvus at the moment. So anybody
Yeah.
who's sleeping is being woken up by Corvus at the moment, and you could say your mini is like basically where you went to sleep. So I did not pay attention at all to where that was. So if it's closer than the water side than it was a minute ago, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, and as soon as Corvus is done waking everyone up, he'll take his bow out and knock an arrow, and get ready to fire at the sea monster once he gets close enough to see it.
Okay, so Kragnar is awake.
Kragnar is awake. He's been awoken.
It's like maybe been an hour and a half, so no one's too groggy or anything yet.
Alcor has awoken and he prepares a magic missile.
I think Aaron's gonna cast fly on himself and haul ass over there to try to get her.
Corvus is going to take a shot at the sea monster to try and distract it with the arrow, with his arrows.
Excuse me. Defeat would be.
All right, everybody can roll for initiative for me. Just exclamation INIT space join in the chat to do that.
Oof.
Oof.
So much oof. All of the oof.
Damn, y'all rolling like me. All right.
Whenever there's a life on the line, our initiative is at its minimum.
Oh man. Bro, we're all totally caught flat foot by this shit.
Well, we tried.
Damn.
What?
I'm just saying. Only one person rolled above 10.
And the Morkoth rolled a 16.
Yeah.
Morkoth is top of the initiative order. All right, Morkoth is gonna,
Easy.
unfortunately, swim in that direction, looking for poor Auralia. And what I'm gonna do here is roll his attack, which is a bite,
Oh
and then
God.
I'll move him over that direction. Oh my God, it's not good. It's a 20. This is not good for Auralia. You hear splashing in the water as though a large fish is taking another fish just below the surface, and you see the disruption on the surface, of course, as Auralia takes 2d6 plus 2 ouchie slashing damage.
Gee, I guess I didn't get my distracting shot off, huh?
Fortunately,
Oh well.
with your initiative roll, you did not. And as all this kind of goes down, you did get to warn the other party members, though, which is super useful.
Yeah,
And,
I was kind of occupied. It's fair.
and it is 9 damage that goes to Auralia. Fortunately, I don't think that's going to kill her. You could still hear her struggling or see her struggling via the splashing in the water, though the beast has her clenched in his maw. And it will fall to, let's see who is up next, Corvus. Let's get some
Alrighty.
spooky battle music going too, eh?
Well,
What-
I was just trying to shoot an arrow, but that seems like kind of a waste of a turn.
You're like, I
Not gonna lie.
changed my mind.
Uh, since I only just shoot once, yeah, not the greatest idea there. So instead, Corvus is going to begin casting. And suddenly the water in the lake begins to roil. And a strange, misty substance seems to rise from it as suddenly some sharks appear in the water.
Oh, snap. Give him those sharks.
Yeah.
Swamp shark.
Sharks incoming.
Yeah.
How many
Trying to
sharks?
find the right ones here.
How many sharks? How many sharks?
Yeah, sharks.
I gotta find the right block. Hold on. I haven't summoned one in a while.
How dare you know your character, bro?
I believe they are reef sharks? 4 reef sharks?
4
Yeah.
reef sharks coming right up, sir.
Yeah.
I will label them shortly so we can easily reference which one you're talking about. Unfortunately, I am going to place them if that's cool for right now.
Yeah, they're just around the the monster
Yeah.
anywhere around him. That's fine.
For now,
Oh, look at him. Man.
for now,
Great
if you
shot.
don't mind, I'm gonna keep moving to them. I will eventually give it to you, but there's a reason why I want to keep moving them for right now. So just you absolutely are in control of them. But in Tailspire,
Okay.
you're gonna have to tell me where you want them to move, which should
Alright.
be easy enough through pinging.
Great sharks.
They are going to immediately attack the monster, and they'll do those rolls.
Okay. Just label these guys real quick and get those rolls going, and they are absolutely within range to attack.
Whoa, what did I just copy?
Copy pasta
And
the wrong thing.
these guys are basically like the wolves. They get pack tactics too, so they get advantage. I'm
Fine.
guessing. Oh, that's a crit. I'm so glad I fished that one. First attack crit. Well,
Baby.
first shark bites into him hard for 13, and blood begins to fill the water.
You hear it from the beast.
That's a 20. Does that hit?
A 20 does hit.
Second shark bites in for 8.
More abyssal groaning.
I'm guessing 14. No.
A 14 will miss. Yep,
And last one misses too.
that is correct.
And Corvus takes up position on the shore, and that will be my turn.
What was the total damage from those sharks? 8 and 11?
8 and 13.
8 and 13. Gotcha. 21. Thank you, sir. And if that is the end... Oh, that's not right. If that
Yep.
is the end of your turn, that should be Alcor up.
Oh, nice shark minis. I like it.
Yeah, buddy.
Alcor will cast Magic Missile at the sea monster, but he's gonna transmute his spell, and it's going to be lightning damage instead of force damage.
Very nice.
And he will make his way towards the Vistani with his longsword drawn, and that will be the end of his turn.
And that should be Aaron up.
I will. I'll just do a tried and true. Open the palms of my hand, or the palm of my hand. The sparks flicker between my fingers. Cast a lightning bolt. Where are my spells? Need a dex roll of 16. Oops.
Oh, wow. That's kind of weird. It's 16.
Exactly 16. Well, you still take half of this.
Hey, man. Damage is damage. Stack it up. Ooh, and it's a big one. It's at 35, so it's, let's see, 16? 17? Yep. 17?
Yes.
See, my mathing skills are on point today.
Right on the money. And that'll be my turn.
All right, and it should be Artemine up.
Okay. Artemine is going to run up to the edge of the shore, and as he's doing so, he's whipping his sword, prepping his spell, and he is going to cast Rhyme's Binding Ice at the moment of hitting the shore. Yeah, 30-foot cone definitely should be in range. Yeah, perfect. As a third level spell, so Constitution save DC 15, please. Just might pass, given he's a big old fish creature, but oh, hey, look at that! Failed. All right. $14 cold damage, and it has no movement speed. Make a successful or can attempt to make another save next turn. Actually, no. For 1 minute. Because there's no other creature that could spend its action to do what it needs. So, yeah. However you want to rule that.
That's cool. No, that's cool. The water around him gets all frosty and icy, and he's like stuck in place.
Wait. Just floating. Big old fish bird.
Yeah, and he himself also looks frozen in pain and agony after taking 21, 17, 38 plus year 14 for a total of 52 damage. Ouch.
Yeah.
And if that is the end of your turn, he is frozen without movement. Kragnar should be up.
Okay. Kragnar. I guess he does not have his armor because it's nighttime.
Do you even wear
So-
armor, dude?
Yeah, he has half plate.
Oh, you have half plate, really?
Oh no, I'm sorry,
Wait,
breastplate.
seriously?
Breastplate.
I was gonna
Breastplate.
say,
I meant
you
breastplate.
can't rage in half plate, bro.
Nope. So he is just gonna get up and rage and run the full distance that he can, which is 8 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did he see the woman get swallowed, or is this is that already happened and he's not aware of it, or like what would be in his brain right now?
You definitely think she's still alive. You saw her get bit. She's not a woman. She's definitely a small child.
Oh, okay, girl. Okay.
Yep.
He will chuck a jav.
Jab chucking. I've missed
He
it.
can chuck a jav. Yep. All right, so that doesn't apply. Melee attacks. Nope. So I have to do this. Okay, so there's just a straight roll, 2 attacks, jab chuck. I've been doing it wrong in the past. Jab 1. Okay. 22 to hit for 8 piercing.
That is gonna hit.
And then
One javelin sticks into the frozen, fleshy mass of the Morkoth's head.
take that. He fires another jab.
Oh yes.
Ooh.
Oh, this one really thuds in there, going considerably deeper than the last one. Only half of the javelin remaining this time, and another 10 points of damage. Ouch. Total
He
of
admires
70.
he admires that one. He's rather proud of his javelin chucking skills. And that is it. Kragnar is done. And he's raging.
Oh. Bear with me as I get Father Albright in combat as well.
Whip.
He's rolling initiative just like the rest of the party. Wonderful. We'll just say he goes at the end here, right for Morkoth, because I think that's where he actually falls.
Yep.
And Father Albright is gonna, I think, use his hand crossbows at the moment. Oh, that could be why. And Father Albright is gonna miss with his hand crossbows, unfortunately. And it will be Morkoth's turn.
With its speed of 0.
With his speed of 0, yeah, he's not moving at all. And I think, based on that, he's got limited options here. All right, with the girl in its mouth, the great beast suddenly vanishes from sight altogether.
Shit.
Like disappeared, vanished?
And then almost immediately reappears, bursting out of the waters, sending up a few sharks that were swimming around in the area, flying up into the air, and then smacking down on their bellies, belly flopping, much like a very poor diver would into the waters, as it dimension doors
It was sweet.
to
Oh,
another
nice.
area of the water. However, still frozen in place there.
What?
It
A big old
then
block of ice fucking off its equilibrium.
it then opens its mighty
But
maw
magic.
and burps out a huge bubble that begins flying in the direction of Artemine. Artemine, you see this gigantic green acidic bubble coming your way. And go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw.
Right. $16.
Alright, you are going to take 1d6 acid damage.
Solid.
as you
Let's
pass
see.
that save. And let's see here. That should be the end of Morkoth's turn, as it should be Corvus back up at the top of the order.
How much was
Alrighty.
that acid damage?
1d6. Sorry. I could roll
Oh,
that.
you
I could roll that. Sorry.
Word.
That is 5 total
Nice.
damage.
Fuck yeah. Stingy.
I clicked it in a place where it would not roll, thinking it would roll, and that's
Whoops.
just, my brain is not fully on today. I spent about 8 hours studying for an exam I'm taking tomorrow today.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Part of me
Good luck.
skin sizzles a little bit.
All right, so the sharks will move into attack. I'll do that first. 1 and 2.
That'll hit. Adding another 5 damage. And it looks like another hit for 13.
Yeah. Or 19, yeah.
Sorry, for 19.
7 damage.
7
12
damage.
misses.
7.
17.
17 will hit.
Nice.
And 8. That's
Nice.
22.
Total of 20.
Nice.
Yep, 20. And from the shore, Corvus will say a few words in Sylvan and cast his Hunter's Mark on the creature, and he will fire his arrow that he knocked.
All right.
It rolled from the 18. I hate this thing, dude. Seriously? I'm done rolling on D&D Beyond, seriously.
Just roll in the
Like, it
chat,
was
dude.
18, and then it hits the edge of the screen and moves to 4. Like,
If any of
Okay.
you had, like I said, if any of you have a desire to roll dice that are dice, I will. I don't care if you call out your roll. That's just as good as you putting it in Discord to me. So
alright, that'll be my turn.
you start rolling nat 20s every time, I may have you turn on your camera.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen either.
I'm just messing around. All right. If that is the end of your turn, it should be Alcor up.
What all are the Vistani doing or reacting to us fighting the monster?
They are looking by in absolute shock and horror, as if watching mere mortals face down a god, and that's what they look
Uh-oh.
like. They look terrified, as though you're fighting something that you probably shouldn't be. They don't look pursuant to help, and most of them have taken to hiding behind tents or trees or brush, whatever they can, so as not to seem in conflict with the Morkoth.
Well, at least I don't have to worry about them then. I'm getting flashbacks from the other campaign, but my character will fight God, so he is going to cast again magic missile, but he's gonna transmute it to lightning damage instead.
Something tells me this battle's not going to end in a TPK, if it makes you feel any better. However, your sharks back, your shark 2 and 3, when they belly flopped, I forgot to tell you that they took 2d6 damage each, and I rolled that in the chat for you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
6 and a
6
4.
and a 4.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also, you see the full girth and size of the beast as its tentacles plunge out of the water, icy though it may be, after it re-transported itself using Dimension Door.
Wow.
And I think he's going to use Action Surge this time, and he's gonna cast Firebolt. Except this time, of course, he's gonna transmute that into lightning damage as well.
Nice.
Never mind.
Oof.
Almost.
But that will be the end of my turn.
All right, back to Aaron.
Well, seeing as it's moved away, I'll shoot a firebolt at it. Let's see. What did it roll? Did that come up 3 times? Yeah. 4
Fuck
times.
yeah, dude.
Okay.
Jeez, bro. It's spam clicking.
I only hit it once. It's
Weird.
happened one other time too. On Aaron, I think I'm gonna start just rolling it.
I was gonna say, man, Firebolt is not Scorching Ray, okay?
Yeah.
Scorching bolt.
Yeah, scorching bolt.
Scorching Bolt, I like
the
it.
the ultimate fire cantrip. I doubt a 10 will cut it. So I'm going to move a little closer to the shore, right over here.
You just gave me an idea for an item that turns your spells into more powerful spells.
I would love that. That would be amazing. Move right up here next to Corvus and in my turn.
Now I gotta think of how I can make you sacrifice your life to try and acquire such a good...
Well, if you turn my Firebolt into Scorching Bolts, I might very well.
You roll the dice, no pun intended.
I will be rolling in Alvarez for the remainder of the night.
For sure, no worries. Artie, you are up, my brother.
Okay, so you might get where I'm going here.
Oh shit. Fireball!
Yes. Trying to place it wherever I can to just be like absolute full tentacle devastation.
Isn't the girl still there?
Yes, she is.
Inside of its mouth.
Okay.
Think of like dog bone. If I could describe that, and this specifically for you, Artemine, if not for the benefit of everybody else, but specifically for you, she's partially out of it. She will probably take some of that scorchy scorch. Also, turn the large aquatic creature into what is that? Calamari.
Yeah.
Will probably scorch anything it has in its mouth. But
will allow me to adjust, because I do have there's a really long range on the spell. So.
The only reason I say that is because you were like, we can't let that happen.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you
know
what
all the way.
Yeah,
she's not all the way in the mouth.
You thought she got whale gulp down there. Now she's like ragdolled. He bit her. He's kind of thrashing around with her, and he still has her gripped in his teeth, like like a dog would with its meal or a steak that it got off the counter that it's not gonna give back now.
Yeah. So it now needs to make a DC 15 dex save.
Okay. And that'll be a 5.
Nice. All right.
Rolling real nice for you guys tonight.
That's 27 fire. And yeah. 2 of its tentacles are completely engulfed in the fireball. The other 2 getting singed.
I would just like to reward that style of play too. When you hear the word And this is going to be different than how you're expecting it. You just react with, this is okay. We're going to be okay. I'm going to find a different way to do what I want to do, and you did exactly that. And you got 27 damage.
I also like how you would have essentially just airbursted that fireball.
Yeah, I picked a point in air.
Oh yeah, like a fireball just occurred in the air, right around this thing like fireworks.
Yeah, it just exploded. It exploded in the air like an artillery shell.
Yeah.
Well, you could do an airburst style thing with it, sure.
The standard version of Tailspire really needs to like get on what the modded version has and like get some of those elements just into the game, because there's no reason why the modded version can have it and the base version can't. Besides stability, maybe.
They're getting there.
Lightning bolt. I'm like, man, that'd be awesome if I could actually shoot a lightning bolt and change the color to green, like I imagine it in my head.
Yeah, they are working on integrating the like an easy access to the creatures in the mod section. So I assume that spell effects are coming down the pipeline.
Maybe we could all just get the modded version.
Oh, dude, it's a pain in the ass.
I imagine everything modded usually is at least slightly more troublesome than the regular version.
I would send you guys instructions on how to do it and walk each of you through it if you really wanted to, but he's not kidding. It is in depth. Like, it is, even for me, who's the guy who, does pretty complicated computer related tasks on a daily basis. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's very involved. It is so very involved, and it's not even guaranteed to work.
Yeah, and then trying to figure out why it's not working requires like basically some coding knowledge. You have to go back and read errors in the code and see what's going on if you want to figure out what's going on. And I don't even think most people get down to that. They just go on the mod page and ask questions. But it's open source, so you can see all the code right there in your browser.
Well, if that's the case, I probably wouldn't be able to do it anyway. I am technologically inept.
I'm really loving the lighting of this map on my mini right now.
Now I gotta look.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he looks sick. Close up. Artemis, close up.
Being close up, looking good. And close up looks like the Vengeance the Knight, the Batman.
Evil eyes. His eyes rimmed in orange, glowing even brighter in the campfire light. Corvus looking dark and brooding. Alcor, his cheroot glaring in the darkness, lighting up his face as he inhales. Kragnar, his fangs ripping out of his mouth, dripping with a slight bit of saliva as he has a feral growl on his face, angered by the beast. I just gave you guys all a close-up.
Oh, yeah.
And the beast. I think it is back to Kragnar at this point.
Okay. Beast has extended its range on me.
Yup.
So, Kragnar is going to step one. Wait, no, hold on. Wait. All right. Step 1, 2, 3, and dive into the water. 4.
Oh, fuck yeah. Get in that water.
And then He's gonna start swimming, and since I'm raging, I have advantage on athletics checks.
Yep.
So he's
And-
gonna try to swim full speed and dash. Just fucking Michael Phelps in it. 1, 2,
Yeah,
3,
160
4.
fucking feet.
And-
Did I hear that right?
Who,
And
who's
you're
saying both of the
over
water?
you're over water, right? Are you like
That's over.
True Lies Arnold Schwarzenegger right
he's-
now?
He's freestyle swimming.
Freestyle swimming, got it. So can still take breath above water.
Yes.
All right, in that case, the breathing rule is not going to come into effect. What else will come into effect? Movement will come into effect.
Actually, it's a difficult terrain. He's gonna try to do freakishly athletic move here to try to still move regular speed. In the water, just as fast as he's fucking running. He's going. He's trying to dash. He's trying to get to the fucking thing. And if it was on land, he would have 10 feet to spare. He's trying to get to it in this round.
All right, in this sense, yeah, you're just going to treat water like difficult terrain. So it's gonna half your movement speed. That's it. As soon as you get in the water, and you can dive out into the water.
Can he try to not? Can he try to treat water as not just as fast as running by his athleticism? Because he has advantage on athletics checks, and he's fucking strong. Because I know I could do that. I could just swim and just press my little cursor forward and not do an athletics check and move in difficult terrain water, just like if I was like a Imelda.
Just because you sprinted into the water and chose this action, like it tells me that your character has full confidence that he's going to get to that thing fast by doing this. So I'm going to say yes.
Okay, all right. Well, I have to pull it off. So, but I have a pretty good.
Got to beat a 15.
Okay, I feel good about this. 23.
Yeah, it'll be a 15.
All right, then he is going to go all the rest of the way. 5, 6, 7. He's right there. He reaches. He's not going to do the mouth because that's just dumb. But he's going to kind of get on this tentacle, and point at the girl and be like, "You stay, me save. No afraid. Ah." That's it.
Help!
Yo, Gan.
Yep.
Keep my message.
Oh. I always have to check on my alternate device. That's the other thing, guys. I keep a separate device just for checking the DMs. Sometimes I forget, though, and check them on stream and ruin surprises.
Oh no.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Ooh.
talking about.
That's cool looking.
Props to Skylar for that.
Ooh.
Oh, and as you see Kragnar climbing up onto the tentacles, he has his crowbar in his teeth.
He's about to try to pry the kid out of its mouth.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't find the GIF for it, but I'm totally imagining Arnold Schwarzenegger just with his blade in his mouth in the snake temple, in Thulsa temple.
Mm-hmm.
Hell
That's when he's
yeah.
climbing, right?
Yep. He's like, I need my hands, so knife go in mouth. All right, Father Albright, he's getting pissed off. He's missed a lot in the last few combats, and he's growing tired of it. He's gonna try something else. He puts his hand crossbow away almost as swiftly as he had drawn it. Shouts out to Kragnar, says, "Hang on, Kragnar!"
Chewbacca roar.
And in quick succession, almost like one of those wind-up pitching machines that fires pitch after pitch, he fires 3 stakes.
Oh, sweet.
With a power that you didn't think old Father Albright was capable of. He's throwing some Verlander heat in there, and that is 3 of these in quick succession, a 13, a 24, and a 27. One of them misses the wild rage of his first throw. However, the second 2 hit their mark, hitting the creature in both of its eyes, blinding it. And we'll throw some damage here for this. Seems like something you need to get in the next town you're in. Add it to the shopping list.
God, I got a shovel. I got a broom.
Crowbar. All right, and that is a 15 and a 6, 21 damage from Father Albright. Morkoth cries out in rage as you hear its painful cry into the air, its tentacles flicking and flapping around. The sky begins to darken above you, more so than it already was, it being night. But the clouds creep in, dark, gray, and puffy, looking like a storm is about to just rain on you. A bolt of lightning arcs from the sky. And it is flying directly at Alcor.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
As this bolt hits you.
I would like to say after the dexterity save, whether I make it or don't, would I be able to use absorb elements as well?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
You actually don't even need to make the roll if you use absorb elements.
Well, technically, it would be the difference between half and not and resistance and not.
Yeah, he passed
or the
anyway.
combination thereof. So if he absorbs the elements and passes, that's quarter damage.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Basically,
That's
just
true.
ate that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that is a pretty hefty damage difference if you start to get in big damages too. That's a good note.
Oh yeah. Remember well. Absorb
Yeah, the only
elements is
reason you'd
badass.
want a bigger damage roll with that is so you could like infuse your weapon with more power or whatever. But you got to take that damage.
Mhm.
So not only does that save you from taking damage, but instead of splintering off as it normally would, the surges of energy just sort of flow through Alcor, and for a moment he just glows with an electric glow as lightning illuminates his whole body, and his hair stands up on his head. His cheroot looks busted out, like the ends of it are like blown out, like it got exploded by something, but he's still smoking on it calmly, and his face looks calm as ever.
Like a fucking, it's like a goddamn Acme fucking cigar that blew up.
Literally
Mhm.
looks ready to make his next move. And in that sense, it is Corvus's turn.
All right, them hungry sharks are going to move in for another bite. Set up my clipboard. All right, first one misses. 22 is a hit. Nope. Oh, got a crit. All right, looks like we got 19 from the sharks. And Corvus will also fire his bow again, and I'm just gonna roll in chat because I hate rolling that dice physically on the screen. It's always that screws me. Never mind. That's my turn.
Mhm.
I don't even know why I bother with the bow.
Mhm.
I should just get rid of it.
Poor Corvus. We just need to get you a better bow, dude. That's all. And Alcor's up.
He will he will attack using a firebolt. He's in close range to make use of his lightning element.
I just realized that Alcor is the GMW of our campaign.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, actually hits things with ranged attacks, unlike everyone else.
Hmm. And that will be the end of my turn.
That's high honors, Alcor. That's high honors. And that should be Aaron up.
What?
Aaron may be AFK at the moment, or his mic
Oh
has
no.
muted him.
Senior Michael.
Michael, we need you. I said GMW's name, and he became GMW and rode off to rob a train.
Mhm.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll come back to him. That's not a problem. And that should be Artemida.
Oh boy. This is becoming a pickle. well. Mm.
I like how you guys have considered all aspects of the situation while being in it, by the way. Just rewarding the thought process around what the Vistani will do, what will happen if the girl gets hit. Just want to pat on the back to everybody for being very cognizant of what's going on right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna taunt that Madam Eve after this.
Having tough time deciding here. I could lob another fireball. To be careful about the placement again. Or I could maybe try something I haven't done before. All right, fuck it. Let's see what happens. Why not? Better than nothing. Artemine is going to kind of flick his rapier around behind him, behind his back, and kind of like lean over and puke out a pile of black, like pure shadow out of his eyes and mouth. Just kind of like drops out a puddle of shadow that moves along the surface of the water and up onto the creature's head. And it kind of elongates up out of like the cracks of its like head plate and becomes a let's see, we're gonna go with a fury shadow spirit. And in that elongation, it unleashes a dreadful scream in the creature's ears. He needs to make a wisdom save, DC 15.
It's gradually getting better, but not much. It's an 8.
So it is frightened of the creature that is wrapped itself up into its folds on its head. It can make another save at the end of its next turn.
Being that it's frightened, it cries out in fear, its mouth opening wide enough for Aurelia to fall out, splashing into the water.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
Nice.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
All right, bring it on, because now my creature has fucking advantage on attacks against it because it's afraid.
a clever gambit indeed. And
I'm glad I
Taker,
didn't
you have
decide
like
the
summoned the
fireball.
creature that's on him.
Yes, I actually summoned a creature, a shadow spirit.
Yeah. Speaking of which, is that
Would you
you
able
said
to
that
help with
that's
that?
like around his mouth, right?
Yeah, kind of on its like head plate, the little head holes.
Gotcha.
And it's like a shadowy blob of weird inky tendrils. And then, with my bonus action, I'm gonna start eyeing and doing my dance because need to keep the defense up in order to keep this fucking creature up. And that'll be turn. Kragna, it looks like.
It is on Kragnar.
All right. Well, this is well timed. Kragnar sees the girl drop into the water, and he will dive. He will swim immediately for her, grab her, and let's see. Is it does that take an action for me to grab her, or like what do I have to do to grab the girl, and then start swimming away? Because I'm wondering if I'd like to
you could
disengage if I
swim.
could.
You could swim by her, like jump in, swim by her, and grab her as an incidental. Just basically like grip onto her clothes and drag her along with you if that's all you're trying to do.
Yep, and then I'll use the disengage action and try to move, using my ridiculously good strength and athletics as far as I can, like 4 squares towards the shore. Or 6 squares toward the shore.
All right, show me your power swimming, Kragnar.
Okay, let's back up first.
I'm
Let's
gonna-
look in the maw of the beast and then roll. Yep.
I'm gonna give you control of the chick too.
Athletics. Oh, Kragnar. Okay, 21.
Your power swimming allows you to push through without any kind of difficulty.
Oh gosh, she's way down there in the water. Hello.
She's short. I could make her fly. Boop.
Hey, perfect. Okay.
Make you fly too. Now you're floating.
Oh, I can select both of them.
Mhm.
And I'll move them.
Yeah, if you're ever like having control of multiple characters, if you click and drag and create like a whatever kind of shape you want around them, you select both at the same time, which is nice. Kind of like you would if you were playing Age of Empires. For those of you who played Age of Empires.
Yup.
That's a good way to control troops.
Okay, there we go. That's it.
Cool. All right. As you move away from the Morkoth, it would be Father Albright's turn, and trying to assist you with some more cover, having dispensed with all 3 of the stakes that usually strap across his chest, leaving only the ones at his waist. He reaches again for his crossbow, taking a second shot. And misses again, unfortunately. Over to Scribe. All right, Morkoth, frozen in place, afraid of the beast in front of it. Or in its mouth, rather. The tenderly black spirit. And
Harassing it.
he is not in good shape either. I think this is last-ditch effort.
Frightened, no movement speed.
Just because this is cool, we're going to use this. All right, 20-foot square. Let's see here. Allow me to look at the logistics of this real quick. Oh, it's awesome that I can use my square tool that Tailspire has. That's alright. We'll make do. Alright. I'll just use this. That's way too many. Alright, the square is going to basically encompass Corvus, Artemine, and Alcor. I don't even actually think it can. Only 2 of you. So let's say Corvus, Aaron, and Artemine, because I think you guys actually are within 20 feet of each other in terms of a square. And this is going to be...
Yup, for sure. You can hit the 3 of us with whatever.
Well, it's not even hitting you. It begins to squirm up around your legs and waist. Ebony tentacles fill this 20-foot square on the ground. And you can see in basically the area you're in turns to difficult terrain. When you start your turn there, you need to roll Dex save. And if you enter this area, you're also gonna have to do that. I can't make a square. I'll do my best to sphere it up for you guys here. Basically, it would be about that.
Yep.
And then make square.
Makes sense.
Well, this sounds fun.
And that's all he can really do, so it will be the end of his turn as he's lost his meal, sadly. Corvus, it is up to you, my friend.
Alrighty. I guess I need to roll save.
Yep. Dex save if you are within the affected area there, which you are. As ebony tentacles lick around your body.
Alright.
And you
My
definitely pass
damage.
that. You are taking half of 3d6 bludgeoning damage from the thump thump thump, which feels like probably what would be like being in a car wash for most people. And you are not, however, restrained. So you are free to make your movement, although it is half what it normally would be because you're in difficult terrain. And here's
Corvus will take 5 damage and jump out of that aura since he's not restrained. Smart move, I know.
Oh, you rolled it. There, perfect. Thank you.
And 5 damage seems worth it. All right.
Yeah, not bad.
And the sharks will attack now.
Roll well.
Nope. 18.
18 hits. Yow.
23.
That'll hit.
And last one.
Pack Tactics. Pack Tactics is just insane.
Oh, I love it. It's damage rolls. 10, 18, 28. 28 from the sharks, and well, seeing as I'm a landlubber, I'm gonna have to attack with my damn bow again.
You're like, I'm not going in that water. Elves don't get wet.
Okay, I'm guessing 21 actually.
It's unbecoming.
Yes, it does.
Finally.
It is unbecoming. Armin just nods his head. Yes. We will not be venturing into the waters today.
We finally hit for 11 piercing or 12 piercing. Woo! Yay! And that'll be my turn.
Oh man, that's awesome. And that should be Alcor up. His Sharut looking
Corvus,
slightly damaged.
Celebrates his hitting his shot. Finally, he's like, yes.
Alcor's gonna over-describe here. He's gonna take a stance, and he's gonna form his fingers like a finger gun, and a magic circle is gonna appear at the end of it, and he's gonna cast a firebolt at it.
Hell yeah.
And
Nice.
he'll yell out that we need breakfast.
And he likes sushi.
Sushi is on the menu. And that'll be the end of my turn.
To be clear, this is not him taking any movement. The tentacles fall limp and smack into the water surface, sinking below.
Mm.
As the beast cries out in pain. And it should be Aaron's turn.
We have not heard from Aaron in a while. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I had to go give an insulin adjustment. So sorry if I missed anything.
Yes,
No worries,
absolutely
man.
necessary.
You reserved your action for this round. Now you have 2 built up.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna
Feel
throw
like you have 2 turns.
six scorching rays then. Wait,
God,
I
that's
think I
awesome.
only get 2.
I was hoping that this would be death by fire, and it's seeming to trend that way. There's a fireball.
All right.
There's been several fire bolts.
Mhm.
Alright, let's do this. Denabre. R. 6. Alright. I'm just gonna longhand it. One is a 19. Miss. Nat 20.
Nat 20. Nice. Makes up for that miss.
Hey.
The 17 hit.
17 does hit.
17 hits. 24 hits. 12 misses. 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 20 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 6.
4 scorching rays just blast into the target.
That's 19 for the crit. Four. Eight. 6. 19, 23, 29, 37.
Some of the area
Total damage.
water around the Morkoth begins to bubble and boil as it explodes from the damage of your spell. Chunks of the Morkoth flop onto the surface of the riverbank, and you can see a slight mist, watery, not like the foggy mist that you're used to, of red falling down, raining on you. And you're all covered in Morkoth blood.
Delightful.
Ragnar shall swim the rest of the way to the shore, clutching the girl in his arms. Can't get short.
He said we're all covered in Morgoth blood and viscera.
Yes, and not that this matters much, but roll a dex save also, Aaron, as your turn when it started, just so you know, because I think you missed it. There was like squirming ebony tentacles all around you, flapping at you
Oh,
and thumping at you. He cast Everard's black tentacles on you guys last turn. You, uh, Artemine, and Corvus.
I did catch that.
Nice.
Where do-
The dex save.
11.
I moved out of it.
All right, so you take 3d6. Yep, I know you moved out of it and took
Oh.
5 in the act. I was just telling him because he didn't take his dex save. And
Oh, okay.
6 damage total for you there, Aaron, and you are currently restrained. However, upon exploding this fellow, your restraint is removed. And that is the end of combat. And I will turn off our hardcore rock and roll music.
Mm.
Softcore rock and roll music.
Artemine lowering his stance, kind of looks at all of us standing on the shoreline, covered in the guts, sighs, puts his blade away, and jumps in the water for a moment.
Yeah, I was muted when I said it, but Corvus goes into the water to help Kragnar and the girl to shore, and once they're safe, he just dives back into the water and starts cleaning himself.
Is
Alcor
the
will
girl
act.
breathing?
She looks at the moment unconscious. However, she is breathing.
Okay.
Oh, and then once Corvus is clean, he comes out and he noticed that nasty bite she took, so he's going to cast a healing spell on her. And I'll roll that right now. He'll cast his Cure Wounds to heal her for 12.
Her breath seems faint and labored, though, and as you cast Cure Wounds on her, she begins coughing up all the water in her stomach, puking it out onto the surface. Bastards! She goes rushing at the Vistani, and you could see that she is tiny compared to any of them. I would say Artemine, Alcor, Corvus, Kragnar, you'd all have a chance to grab her if any of you want to. You could do so without any kind of a roll.
I'll scoop her.
Alcor's gonna sit back and watch, all bloodied, and he's gonna look at the Vistani and smile in a kind of cocky and smuggish look.
They are astounded, and all of them are kind of coming out from their hiding places, and they look slightly abashed at the events that just occurred, though not ashamed that they just tried to sacrifice a child, just that you were able to defeat this creature as they begin to marvel at your accomplishments, picking up some of the fleshy pieces of the Morgoth and talking amongst themselves. Quickly, you realize that they mean to cook the beast and eat it, as this is a turn of events they did not expect. However, still an outcome that they're rather happy with, as they can provide Madame Ava with the sustenance she needs from Morgoth. As eating him will be a far
Kragnar,
greater than a sacrifice could have gained or could have helped her.
Ragnar's gonna hold the little girl in his arms and just start spouting off in every direction and no direction all at once. How dare you, Vistani! Cowardly Boomdock, weird orcish curse. Sacrifice children to water beasts. You are not men. You are worms. He spits on the ground and utters some other gross orcish curses and just looks at everyone, but especially the males, with just utter disdain. Just like, He just like if you walked into an outhouse that exploded and we're looking at the aftermath, that's how he looks at them.
Come now, Aralia, you must not be mad at us. You know this is the way. You are the youngest of the tribe here.
Hey,
You're not talking to her. You're talking to me right now. He says through gritted teeth.
Of course I am
Pounds his
talking to
chest.
her. She is my daughter after all. You do not understand our ways, foreigner. You are friend to this camp for now, and though you have murdered the Morgoth, know this, we do not fear you.
The Vistani look on stoically, not in a threatening manner, but the way they look at you backs up what he says. They do not appear to be afraid of the repercussions of you witnessing their heinous action, sacrificing this child, his daughter no less.
Artemine
That's
kind of
fortunate
has
for
like
all of us.
a reverse moment of the the shadow spirit summoning, where it kind of rides back along the water and then lurches up into his face. And he turns and looks to Andrela with like a deadpan stare. Says, "You fancy yourself a follower of the Raven, yet you would stand idly by as a sacrifice is made that would take a soul away from the archive. Crash.
I serve
You
but one
will
master, and it is not the Raven Queen," says Andrella.
mm, clearly.
You've heard talk in town that the Vistani have a loyalty to Strahd. You've even heard tales of how they recovered him when he still was a man. Brought him back to health after being wounded in battle. For this, it's said that the Vistani hold a special place in Strahd's heart, and it's thought that this is the reason why they are allowed to enter and exit his domain of their own accord.
Mm, you very well made liars of yourselves. Good luck with your sacrifices henceforth. Summon another Morkoth.
They're not man enough to do it themselves. He gets down on a knee and talks to the girl. Do you want to stay here? Is this where you feel safe? If not, Drathar, we'll get you out of here. We will get you out of here. No, no father who loves his daughter knows this.
Ralia just hugs onto Kragnar's leg, and you could feel that the grip of her hands on your leg, and she's actually like piercing into you with her nails. It doesn't cause you pain, because one, Kragnar is pretty tough and thick-skinned, but you could feel her fear. She does not want to go back to her father.
Since you saw fit to kill own daughter, she come with me now. She not yours. She dead to you. Spits in the ground. Looks at him like he's a fuck. Picks her up and starts walking.
The father does not quarrel with Kragnar nor argue. Simply standing there looking on after Kragnar as he walks away with his daughter, as though the sacrifice that he originally meant to make is one that he ultimately had to. In any case, Madame Ava will be restored, and that much seems to be all that matters to him as he helps his fellow Vistani gather pieces of the Morkoth that they begin to dump into the large cauldron that boils and bubbles in the center of the campfire, as they brew up a Morkoth stew for Madame Ava to restore herself. Some of them even look thankful to you as you make your way about the camp.
Alcor would like to wash himself off, and he would approach one of the Vistani and ask, since we've given nutrients to Madam Eve and whatnot, I think it's rather fitting if we are given some items that you may possess for free.
A couple of them look at you and look at each other incredulously, and they offer you some of the stew.
He's not looking at the stew, and he's
he
looking at them dead serious. Like, if you don't, do what he says, he will take the stew. God said I shouldn't play around anymore.
It's for your women. We want to buy them. How much for the little girl? Which I actually sort of did. We want to buy them.
Anybody who partakes in the stew will gain a level.
Oh, oh well. Yes, that sounds lovely. What quite fantastic stew. I would imagine that such a hearty beast would make for a delicious stew.
Hmm.
I did not want you to miss out on stew. Though, as you eat around the campfire, the incredulous looks that the few merchants, or Vistani merchants, I should say, gave you as you approached them, seem to produce some sort of quiet conversation as you begin to eat your meal. And they produce what looks like a long leather pouch of some kind. It looks like it could contain a sword, perhaps. The length of it alone certainly suggests that.
Mm.
They sort of talk carefully, considering, looking over at you, several other members of the group, and they begin to pull several things out of their caravan in addition to this long leather container. One being a large crate. It's about 3.5 feet in width, 5 feet in length. It requires both of them to lift it out of the caravan, and it looks considerably heavy. The other is more of a bundle or an adventurer's pack of some kind, though it is oblong, almost 5 feet in length, and has a small handle or hilt sticking out of the end of one of its sides in a revealing nature.
Curious items.
Mhm.
The first item that they approach you with is the first one that you kind of saw them discussing, almost as if they didn't want to give it to you, or perhaps were considering maybe giving you something else instead. Though not wanting to offend you and having granted such a great offering to Madame Ava and the rest of the encampment, they begin to unfold the leather pouch in front of you, specifically offering it to Alcor. It is an obsidian blade.
Mm.
It looks like it almost has scales on the hilt, but you could see that they're carved into it. And it is a great sword.
Well, that,
Nice.
that is certainly a fine weapon there.
This weapon is known as the Black Razor.
Oh shit.
Mm.
And this one I know to be in D&D Beyond for you. It's one word, Black Razor, Blackrazor, and should have a item description for you in there, but basically it is a legendary greatsword that can consume the soul of any creature it kills, preventing them from being revived by anything but a wish spell.
Jeez.
It permanently kills your enemy, basically.
Whoa.
Yeah.
In addition to that, it gains temporary hit points equal to the target's maximum hit points. So you, the wielder, would gain temporary hit points equal to the target's maximum hit points. In which
Yeah.
case, I will be telling you what those hit points are, and a quick way for you to basically find out how many hit points something has also.
Yeah, man, I can't believe they added this to Beyond. It's actually there.
It's in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Really, I wasn't expecting to see it. When I searched it up, I wasn't expecting to see it. Yeah, damn.
Some of the
Cool.
books did get updated recently, from what I saw.
Very cool weapon indeed.
Hmm. Upon seeing it,
I added some flavor to
Al-
this one.
Alcor will respectfully and complete switch up from how he was earlier, is gonna respectfully take it off their hands and kind of inspect it and wield it, trying to get used to its weight and everything. Being very gentlemanly.
They just kind of nod respectfully, as like I said before, as they would to an opponent or an equal. And the guy who basically described it to you, he says,
A sword of great renown for a warrior of equal renown.
and he nods to you as he hands you the blade. And uh, he then begins to break into the rest of the items.
Oh, geez, it kept the haste effect. Wow.
As he opens the trunk, you see that there is a deep red velvet covering there, and there's little sockets holding several rings. 12, in fact. 8 of them look the same, 4 of them unique. From the 8,
Hmm.
he plucks 5 and gives 1 to each of the party members.
May these keep you safe in your travels.
It is a ring of protection.
Woot.
He then kind of showcases the case itself and offers you to look amongst the other rings that he has, the 4 unique ones being a re-equip ring, a ring of bravery, a ring of crystal growth, and a ring of finding.
Never heard of a ring of finding before. That sounds interesting.
It is a ring that, when linked with another magical item, will tug your finger in the direction of said item if it is further than 5 feet away from you. It pulls your finger enough for you to notice, but not enough to pull your finger away from anything you may be doing. To link an item to this ring, simply hold the ring to the item for 1d6 days. Fortunately, the only thing required to link an item is 1d6 days. If you leave the ring on a table, it will link to that table. You do not need to be holding it.
Interesting.
That is the exact description of that item, which is awesome.
Tell me about the ring of crystal growth.
I can do that. The ring of crystal growth is an action while you're holding or wearing this ring. You can create a simple object that grows out of the ring, such as a dagger or a sword. The object you create must fit entirely into a 2.5-foot cube. The object lasts for 1 minute or until you stop holding it.
Interesting. It seems fairly utilitarian.
Ring of Bravery is advantage on saving throws against effects that would cause you to be charmed or frightened. And I'm sure you can guess what the re-equip ring is. But I can tell you. It has the basic designs of weapons and armor etched into it. The ring is enchanted with very exact conjuration spells. This magic allows the user to store items in a pocket dimension so they can easily be summoned at any time, even during battle. As a bonus action, you can speak a command word and cause a weapon to appear in your hands or armor to appear on your body, putting that, and this accounts for attuning as well, putting that what was in your hands or what you're wearing into the ring. Though there is a limit on how much the pocket dimension can store, it can be used for simple or combat related purposes. Some users may just choose to use it to change their clothing. If you do that, I will smack you. Most skilled users are able to re-equip different weapons in battle. You will not be Supermaning in my campaign. The amount of ring can store is shown in points of weight storage. The amount of points required to put an item in the ring is an abstraction of its weight and volume. So there's some limitations on it, which makes it kind of not super OP, but also super OP. You can basically equip an item immediately in battle that is different than the item you have without expending a action. And obviously, quick draw items and stuff like that, this doesn't matter for, but big swords and stuff like that, it does. So, and it accounts for armor as well and attunement, which is big.
So there's bravery, quick draw, re-equip, and crystal for crystal. No, bravery, re-equip, crystal, and what was the fourth one? No, is that it?
We have re-equip, bravery, crystal growth, and there was another one.
Oh, okay.
Let me just pull it up real quick, because there was 4 rings, 4 unique ones. And now I can't find my note. Where the hell is it? think I gave you the definition of the other ring yet. I think I just listed off 3 rings so far, now that I'm thinking about it. I could be wrong, though. If anybody knows the 4th ring that I listed off, feel free to shout it out. I do not have a recollection of it anymore. So I think I only listed off 3 unique rings. The other one was a ring of protection, but that was 8 and 8 rings in that chest, and he gave you all one of those already. So I think that's why I thought I said 4. The 5th and final 4th unique ring is going to be the Ring of Superiority.
Superiority.
So
Well, shit, what's that one do?
basically, this one is traditionally used by battle masters. This ring aids in your maneuvers. So this item has 5 charges and regains 1d4 charges at dawn. Whenever you expend a superiority die for maneuver, Alcor, you can expend a charge to not expend the die, rolling the die if needed.
All right, that one's going to Alcor.
Yeah, Ring of Superiority should definitely go to Alcor.
Nice. I didn't want to take anything because I got, a really legendary sword, but
It's certainly not the end of their gifts, as they still have this other long oblong thing that has a hilt sticking out of it. It would appear they have one more sword for you. Not quite as beautiful as the obsidian black razor, but still gleaming and glinting as they reveal it from its pouch is a great silver sword.
Hmm.
These guys seem to like great swords.
And for the purpose of our campaign, there's gonna be no restriction on the attunement abilities of this sword. Anybody can attune to this sword. Anybody within this party, that is, cannot give this to an NPC and have it work. Unfortunately, as long as you are attuned to this sword, you would gain advantage on Wisdom, Intelligence, and Charisma saving throws.
Wow.
It does not have the same feature as the Black Razor in the fact that it instantly defeats enemies because you are not in the astral plane. In addition, it gives you resistance to psychic damage, immunity to being charmed. And that's all of its benefits per our use for it.
You said it was a great sword that's silver.
Greater Silver Sword, yeah, is the name of it. And it is from Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes.
Ooh.
That's a source, if that helps. However, it is slightly modified attributes for our campaign, and because we have a Black Racer.
Well, that's cool. Sounds a little large for Artemine, though.
Well, it is a great.
What's its classification?
It is a greater silver sword. I don't know if it necessarily is a great sword. I think it's just called a greater silver sword. We could say this is a short sword.
Interesting. Well,
You take that ring of re-equipping if nobody wants it. I change weapons a lot.
have at it. I'm intrigued by the greater
Let's
silver
over there.
sword for sure.
Kragnar, I'm not sure where you are, but could you just give me like an idea of where you're at in the camp real quick? I know your
He's by the.
your mini's by the fire, but is that where you're actually at?
Yeah, he
Okay.
moved a little bit closer
Yeah.
when he saw that they were being cool and no one's like coming after him after he's decided that they don't deserve this girl.
Just as you start to get comfortable, you see Artemi walking up from behind you with a massive battle axe. But he
That's
doesn't.
the little girl?
Oh yeah,
No, that's not. Okay. No, that's
Artemi is Aurelia's dad. Yep.
Oh, Shatner jumps to his feet, takes a defensive stance, passes out, like looks like he's gotten surprised.
He kneels down in front of you and holds the axe leveled in his hands, offering it to you. This is Fane Eater. May it protect you and my daughter.
He looks at him, looks at the girl, looks at the axe several times. Your ways are strange, but I thank you. I will do as you ask. Krognar will. Thank you. And he shall tempted to like cautiously take it. He's still a little. This is very strange to him, but he's in a strange land.
This is again normally a weapon that needs a specific class to attune to it. However, in your case, only you of the party will be able to attune to this item. It has some pretty nasty benefits. It deals bonus damage on nat 20s, provides a +3 to hit and damage, and it also deals an additional 2d8 and heals its wielder every time you do damage.
It's nasty.
This good axe.
This is, yes, this is certainly like an axe of healing. It's said to claim the souls of the Fane spirits. With every evil you quell, you'll be restored as you restore the land. And that's all the gifts they have for you, it would seem.
I'd make a new mini. Nasty looking axe.
And if you feel disappointed, if your character was not among gifted some magical legendary items, know that good things are coming for you. And very soon, I should think. With that being said, this is probably a great place for us to stop for the end of the night as you guys kind of process this. And if you need help getting any of these added to your inventory or creating customs for the stuff that we don't have, which I think would only be really the item you got there, Kragnar. Every other source we should have, and so it should be available via D&D Beyond. This is called the Fane Eater.
Yeah, I'm searching homebrew. There may be.
Yeah, it's
Nope,
it's Descent into Avernus is the source.
Oh, okay.
So unless one of us has that, it probably won't be available in D&D Beyond. So we could just create a custom for you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can do that.
That's gonna be fun with the healing and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to do some remembering there. It's all right.
It's okay. Know your character, bro.
Yep.
I'm the champion of that phrase.
KYCB, man. KYCB. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did tonight. It was always exciting to do the readings. This was a weird reading because it's a second reading. Hopefully it was as interesting as I thought it was for you guys.
Hey guys, Kragnar has a little girl now.
That was weird.
Kragnar is indeed responsible for a small